to. You can leave your friends behind. Wow,
Just like
this is
that.
a crazy
Mm.
fucking map.
I know. Well, I'm the only one drawing here,
I
so
know.
you
You're
guys
doing a
are
good
getting the
job.
full brunt of my artistic expression.
I'm
That
still looking at what the
Hmm.
I like how this
stuff
is
I
like a
can
different
do.
perspective map. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's a different art style. I also like how it's all inland and it's all nice and green, just like the interior of Iceland,
Hmm.
right?
Is it actually? I thought it was.
No.
I thought Iceland was actually green.
It depends on the location a lot.
Okay.
I
Well,
But
thought
this
the
is supposed to
irony
be like
was
a
that the
farming
coasts of
community, right?
Iceland were all icy and the interior is all green. The coasts of Greenland are green and the interior is all ice.
yeah,
I thought
it's
there was
just
irony, man.
Okay, I'll tell you
it's
what.
it's
Here,
mostly that way. It's just once you get near any of the rain, the lava fields
Super
and shit.
volcanoes.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. What we should totally put this next village we go to near a volcano with lava. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
we can
Okay,
get really
so
unlucky and have a
apparently
volcanic
the reason the
eruption.
winter's gonna be so bad is because there's literally a Mount St. Helen eruption going on, and your village is covered in
Yeah,
ash.
and all the airline flights are canceled for like a month. All the Viking raids are canceled for a month because it's literally raining ash and brimstone.
Seems like the perfect time to do Viking raids.
Remember, you can only Viking raid in the summer. That's how the move works.
Yeah,
It's currently the beginning of winter.
maybe
Okay.
it'll be a
There's
nice
some Rocky
warm winter.
Mountains with snow on the top, and there's an exploding volcano. And
I'll assume that that's an
Awesome.
artistically exploding volcano and it's just actually simmering.
That could just be the sun peeking over the horizon.
You know what?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's specifically the volcano from Journey to the Center of the World. Yeah.
yeah,
What's it called?
fantastic.
Snorri's Peak or something, right?
It is now.
Hmm.
I think it's
Snorrifell.
didn't they use Snæfellsjökull?
Oh man, you know
I
more
don't
than
know.
I do.
I think they used Snæfellsjökull for it. Jules Verne specifically states in his book which it is, but
Yeah,
I cannot remember. I think
he's crazy,
Snæfellsjökull.
man. He wrote
Let's
some
see.
good ass books.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious Island, that's where it's at right there. It's basically Lost for winners.
Hmm. For winners.
Yeah. Listen, man, the first two seasons of Lost were really good, and then Lost became Lost for losers. You have
Yes.
to go back a couple hundred years to Jules Verne in order to get Lost for winners again.
There we go. It was Snæfellsjökull,
All right.
which literally will translate to uh, well,
Explodey Fire Mountain.
no, snowy side glacier. I'm doing this. Treat that as a Google Translate.
Oh, man.
It's not accurate. I'm trying to.
Google Translate not accurate? What? Color me surprised.
Yeah, I mean the easiest one, and which I always love, is the fact that the easiest volcano in Iceland to translate is Eyjafjallajökull, because it literally translates to island 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 mountain volcano, a glacier. Blah. Eyjafjallajökull, island mountain glacier volcano.
If you weren't actually Icelandic, I would say you're making all of that up.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way I could ever pronounce. I mean, there's no way I could pronounce any of that stuff ever.
Why do
That's
we have
crazy.
Cliffs of Insanity?
I just because no one else is drawing, so
Okay.
this is what happens.
The Cliffs of Insanity!
I
I
think
see
they're a
you've
little
bested
bit
my
longer.
Huskarl.
Oh, that's perfect. I think the Cliffs of Insanity are a little bit more to the south, although I haven't read that story in a while. Maybe they were always meant to be in Iceland.
Never go against the Reykjavik when death is on the line!
Man.
Just saying. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good movie. I think you can tell who my favorite character is. Classic blunders. All right.
It is one
Okay.
of the greatest movies of
So
all
we've got a
time.
map now. We've done
Yeah.
some more bullshitting.
Thanks for
Let's
everyone contributing to this map, by the way. It's,
all of
Hey,
it's a
you.
communal effort.
Are you
man.
pointing the crappy farmland is in your direction and the lush farmland is in their
Yeah,
direction?
we're coming from the south, basically from the crappy farmland.
Okay, so they're north of you? Excellent.
I think based on our previous map, that's...
Okay,
I think?
all right.
Seems logical.
No.
So, let me ask, what are the thoughts of each of you as you travel towards this marriage?
Well, how obvious is it that Aitlin is not working with us anymore?
I don't
He's-
think it's obvious at all. Perhaps the first flag would be literally this wedding. Because I don't think Balder has been... Well, let's ask Balder, how public have you been about pursuing Laura Ingolfsdotter?
Not very, because it didn't really go all that well, and her brother just insulted me, and it's not something I really like to talk about.
So maybe it's hard to tell that he's still against you. He's become a very hard man ever since you crushed his hands, though, Olaf Olafsson.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah, I feel like you're rounding that event against me, but it's okay. But
You crippled his hands!
well, yeah, you're saying I crippled his hands. I don't remember saying I crippled his hands.
No,
That's
no,
all.
so you rolled, you gave him grave harm, right?
I know. I'm with
Yes.
you.
And
I trust me. I'm okay with it.
in the fiction, he endured the grave harm, but he had to take a cripple. Or he had to take a disability. And you specifically said you were attacking his hand.
I did.
So his hands are crippled.
Okay.
Crushed hands.
Yep, which is something we can
I'm
probably
keeping it with
might
the
be able
fiction,
to.
Man.
No, I'm with you. It just I wasn't aware of how that ended last time with the crippling.
I think what's
But that's
going
okay.
through Balter's head is how he's going to leverage this situation to make himself look better and make sure this wedding gets called off and a new and much improved one for Balter gets gets put on instead.
That is eye on the prize.
Uh-oh.
The fate
So
of
I
himself.
have the name Heidi Holdbasin written down. Who is she again?
It's a he.
Oh, he. Okay.
Let's ask Ben. Who is Heidi Holdbasin?
IT hold basin. Here's my notes.
I'm gonna bring up my notes. Home can watch, and we can see Ben remember. Not putting Ben on the spot here.
Of course
Throwing
not.
him up on the spot.
Wow, yeah, no, I have no idea.
Okay, Heidi Holdbasin.
Wait, no, I do. Wait, I do. I'm with you. I had to find it. I don't know why it's not on my notes. He is the person that I have I have a relationship with.
And you do have 2 bonds with him now.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah, everyone you have a relationship with, you gain a bond at the beginning of every session.
Right, so when we first started, we had a little flashback to back in the day, and Olaf knew Heidi Holdbasin, and I wouldn't trust him with, I wouldn't trust him with a weapon, because he was wrongfully accused of smuggling.
Yes.
And while he was wrongfully accused of smuggling, I still wouldn't trust him with a weapon, because he may not have been smuggling, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's trustworthy.
So here's the thing. When you said flashback, I get this picture of, and this has happened, this is like a 90s thing, but if you remember in the 90s and early 2000s, they used to do flashbacks where it was just the same people. They just had like weird 80s haircuts where they'd have like flat tops up to here.
Yep, exactly.
I feel like having Heidi and Olaf just have huge flat tops, but wearing the same outfits and looking exactly the same. Even their beard length is the same. But they're wearing like children's outfits.
And nobody bothered to put makeup on the scars that they've most recently earned. Yeah, clearly. Yeah, exactly.
Or as some people know it, the How I Met Your Mother syndrome.
Yeah.
Like how Colby Smulders has to play herself at like 18.
Yep. Exactly.
So, what is his current role? Like, what has been going on with him recently?
No one knows.
We
No
don't
one's seen
know.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's
exactly.
seen him. Okay, so he
Yeah.
was just mentioned.
He's
that-
being wrongly sought after by a Gothi for smuggling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, did you have a name for the Gothi that's searching for him?
I did not.
Okay. Yeah,
you?
because I had left it as a question mark on mine. It was
Well.
undefined.
Perhaps we will find out.
Okay.
So Ingolf and Ingolf's farmstead, Laura and Maitland are marrying. Maitland doesn't really like Olaf at the moment because he crippled his hand. Thor is at this farmstead, and Heidi Holdbasin hasn't actually been seen for quite some time.
That's true.
Okay. Just making sure my notes are accurate so I can figure out how to play them all against everyone else. Awesome.
Saga of Un the Old, everybody. Saga of Un the Old. So I think we were talking about how each character feels going to this wedding. Un, how do you feel?
I'm a little concerned actually. I think at this point Un has realized that things are not going as well for her as she might otherwise have predicted. I think the fact that Gurney is actively working against her means that she's probably not things aren't going as well for her as should be going given her status as a Seatkona. I think she has realized that perhaps making Baldur Godi at this point may have been a little bit rash. If Baldur had been a little bit successful in Vikinging this past summer, maybe that wouldn't be the case. But the fact
Well,
is,
he was. You mean
Oh, he
Olaf?
was. He was fabulous.
Olaf
Oh,
was
was
not
he?
successful.
Olaf wasn't. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, she's still correct though.
The thing
Okay.
about Vikinging is that it doesn't bring in anywhere near as much money as farming.
yeah.
Right.
So I think the fact that the basic tasks of the village were completely neglected over the past summer, and now we're in for a very hard winter in which probably a lot of people aren't going to make it. Potentially even Un herself. She is quite old and she does need her food from time to time. I think is kind of a bit of a sore spot for her. I think she assumed that the leadership of the village would be a little bit better taken care of than it was the prior summer. But at this point, I think she's kind of thrown in and she's committed to making sure that Baldur is successful because certainly the village needs to go on and he's the current Godi. So it's kind of on her shoulders to figure out how she can.
He's not technically the Gothi.
Okay, well he's
He
Godi
doesn't have any
trained.
Gothi abilities.
Yeah.
He hasn't been recognized as such. He's just kind
Yeah.
of the guy in charge.
Yeah. So I think she's wary of what the future holds, and she understands that she's gonna have to play some cards if she wants to make sure that the farmstead and by extension herself make it through the winter.
How
You know what you
terrifying
have to
is
do.
I know what I have to do. What do I have to do?
Of course. We need to get me married into a wealthy family with lots of farmland so we can get food for the village. And then maybe, something bad happens to the some people that live there so that there's even more food.
I'm imagining as this actually hadn't crossed my mind until you brought it up. This is a conversation that Baldur is having with Un.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Just sort of mentioning the fact that I've had my eye on this place for some time. If I could,
Eye on the farmstead or eye on Laura?
Both. But I mainly mention the farmstead because, don't want to piss you off in case you still have feelings.
I have feelings for.
Well, you guys had a relationship
Oh,
long,
that's
long
right.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
In a
she's
bed
been holding
far,
that
far
over his
away.
head for so many years.
Yeah, she's got 2 bonds out of it, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I already spent one of them, so I'm done
okay.
with them, right?
So
Okay.
So of course my main thing will be mentioning the farmstead, and we can still keep our thing going if you help me get married to her and take over this place.
Now
Plenty of
you
farmland for
seducing
us.
an old woman for money and power? I like where your head's at. See me later, Sonny. Yeah.
Oh, you know me, Un. There's no, there's
So
nothing I wouldn't do
I
to
have to be
make.
honest that after last week's session, I couldn't like talk right for about 2 days. So you might not hear as much of Un the Old's cantankerous accent much longer tonight.
Well,
But I will try valiantly because this is, after all, the saga of Un the Old.
There you go.
indeed. And you know me, Un. There's nothing I wouldn't do to help the village.
Let me
And
ask a question, Un. From the way you're talking, would you say that you're enticing a man?
I think he's enticing me.
I don't know. I think you said something about seeing you later.
Is that actually what I'm doing? I think it was more of a wink
Okay,
than
alright.
anything else. I'm not actively attempting to sleep with him right now.
No, that you don't have to sleep with someone to entice them. I
Right,
would
but
look
you're
under
not
the-
trying.
I,
So you're
I
not
was
trying to change his and affect him in any way.
No. I was responding to his offer. If anything, if there's such a thing, he was trying to entice me. He's trying to like trade sexual favors for my
No,
help.
that's not. See, that's not a. He can do that, but that's not a male move. The
Yeah,
female
yeah.
move is entice a man, and there's nothing sexual about it.
Hmm.
It's getting gifts, answering questions, and acting in your name.
Okay.
That's things you can force him to do. Just a thought, if that's something you'd like to hold over him for a little while.
Shall do. Keeping track of my bonds now. Okay, so that's kind of where Un the Old is currently, and of course I still have Gurney, my loyal apprentice, who is in no way working against me. Who I actually, at the end of the last play session, made a conscious effort that I was going to start trusting her with more knowledge and teaching her more, because I realized that I was probably pushing her away.
Once you stabbed her in the hand and let her bleed into a river.
That's true, I did. She earned it though. So she did steal from me. I'm just putting that out there.
So, yeah. This is the beginning of the play session then. Would anyone like to change their relationships? You can either change the relationship's target, or you can change what the relationship says.
I am changing one relationship.
There you go.
As Olav Ragnarsson is currently slightly dead,
Yeah.
I currently so I don't want something of theirs anymore, but I do want something of Ingólfur, let's call him Ingólfur Þormundsson, who is Laura and Sigmundar's father. I want his
Okay.
daughter. I want his lands.
All right, you want
I'm a
something of
greedy
Ingold
bastard.
Thormundsson. So mark down that you have a bond with Ingold.
And I gain another relationship at the beginning of this play session, right. or do we change them?
You can change them. You don't gain another unless you have a move that lets you, or you mark enough XP to earn it.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
again, to mark the XP, you have to roll a move with someone that you have a relationship with.
Okay,
Once you have 4 relationships checked, you clear all the checks and you level up, basically.
okay.
Gain an advancement.
All right. So I just
Is
misread
there
the beginning
is
of
there
it.
a relationship you'd like to change?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Well, you can
No.
only do it at the start, so.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I will keep my current relationships, as I have a feeling they will. You said that Thora is at this farmstead,
Oh, yes.
so I'll have the opportunity to interact with her. Okay.
Yes, Thora Aelstadr is here. And she still fears you, friend.
As you should.
So you said we had a bond with someone we had a relationship with, right?
Yep.
All right.
Do these bonds
Yeah.
stack with themselves? So I didn't use
You
bond
can
with
have
Thor.
multiple bonds with someone.
Okay.
You spend those bonds to answer questions when you look into someone's heart.
You can also. There's another one, right? Isn't there more
Yep.
than one thing?
You
There's a couple
can
things you can do.
assist or hinder someone's actions using your bonds.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to put my bond on my son.
No, you get bonds with
a-
everyone you have a
Oh,
relationship
we do?
with.
Oh, I thought we just got one. I'm with you.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
you
cool.
get 4 of them.
Very cool.
And just because we're discussing bonds, I just want to re-mention again that you have one with Aitlin, Balder, because you gave him a gift. A handful of
Yes.
silver. So, you arrive at this farmstead. Everything's looking great here. They have, at least 40 thralls wandering around. The thralls actually seem moderately happy. There's hundreds of free folk. Many of them seem to be artisans among the women, making cultural artifacts, producing music. Men are skalds or warriors. Many are guards. Some Vikings who seem to have had a very successful run in Ireland. Lots of Irish treasure lying around. Lots of druidic iconography here. And there's definitely signs of a powerful Gothi at work here. Many, many depictions of Freya and Freyr around the village. And when you come into the village, Gurney tries to pull Un the Crone to one side to speak with her mother. And Aitlin wishes to pull Olaf aside, away from Balder.
Interesting.
Do any of you stop any of these things, or do you allow yourselves to, move along with the crowd as you're being pulled?
Uh,
Who's
oh.
pulling who's pulling who away from Srara?
Gurney is pulling Un away from you guys, and Aitlin is pulling Olaf away from Balder. Each of them want to have discussions.
Well, I have no reason not to have a discussion with Aelin. Right?
I don't see any reason why I should be.
He is my old crewmate who I rightly put in his place, and now he's moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why Olaf would suspect anything is amiss. So, of course.
I've got no reason to really, do anything.
Yeah, get in the way. I mean,
hey! I want to be in on every discussion now that I'm leader. I think that might not go over so well.
Yeah, is it clear that he wants this to be a private conversation?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
then I would respect that.
Okay.
I'm just saying. All right.
Un the Crone.
Un
Allow yourself
is
to be pulled away.
yeah. Un actually relishes being in the presence of someone who fears her.
Okay, interesting. So I think we'll start with the discussion with Olaf Olafsson and Aitlin Crushhands.
All right.
And so I think Aitlin is he's got bandages on his right hand where you stabbed him through.
I didn't stab him. I crushed him with my hand.
Crushed his hand, right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got bandages on it.
Sure.
He has to change them daily.
Okay.
He's been spending a lot of time with the Un the Crone's apprentice, Gurney. Apparently she's good at changing bandages and
Sure. Helpful little hands.
Yeah. So he's like, I think that this is the last we will be together. Olaf, son of Olaf. I have enjoyed my time raiding with you, but now I am to be married. I am a Huskarl on my own. I think I might be leaving the farmstead to settle down in my wife's village, and I just wanted to thank you for everything you have done for me. I can honestly say that without you, I would never have been put on this path. He reaches out to shake your hand with his hand that has bandages on it.
I will shake it. The world turns in strange ways, my friend.
And he does the pulls you close and pats you on the back while still shaking your hand.
Okay.
So his left hand is clasping you on the back, and he says, "Olaf Olafsson, I want to tell you that you should keep an eye out for Aesgarder and Meckley. Meckley has been spending his time, and he like spits on the ground, and he's like, Meckley has been spending his time making things like a woman. Aesgarder has him led around by the balls. There may be trouble on your Viking boat next time you go out in the shallow drafts, is what I am saying. I do not know if you can trust Meckley anymore.
This is most concerning. I have always known that they were interested, but to have one fall so low on my boat is surprising when you have risen so far. I had hoped that they would have been motivated for greatness.
So he looks at you and he's like, I don't know what's going on with Aesgarder. She approached me the other day and wanted to wrestle and acted as if she was a man, trying to talk about honor. So I took the back of my hand and I slapped her with it. No woman should speak of honor as if she was a man. It is as if they have switched balls. I don't know what is happening. You should speak with Meckley and if necessary, take the back of your hand to him. Perhaps a good hand crushing would be good for him.
You are altogether too fond of hand crushing. You would think one crushed hand in your life would have been enough. And yet here you stand, crushing all the hands before you. You are a bit zealous, my friend.
So I think he slaps you on the back again. He is like, I learned from the best.
Well, hopefully you learned that all things take their time. I will deal with this. It is my boat, but I
So-
appreciate your counsel.
Yeah, so while you're saying that, he smiles and he's like, that is good. It is good that you still have your boat. Alright, I am going to my wedding. And like he kind of gestures to the farmstead that he's about to be married into. And he looks back at you and he's like, enjoy your boat.
I will. I will.
And we're gonna cut sideways, I think, unless there's anything else you'd like to say to Aitlin.
No, I don't know. How much money did I get from my Vikinging? I couldn't find it because I rolled a 6. So I think I had misfortune.
Yeah, you suffered grave misfortune. Which
So-
has not come to be revealed what that misfortune is.
Well, so my question is, I don't have anything other than what I started with in order
That's
to give
correct.
him a
You-
wedding gift.
That's correct.
So I can't give him a gift, basically.
Also
Right?
correct.
Right. Well, the reason I ask is because it's a wedding and you give people a gift.
I know.
And if I was going to give him a gift at his wedding, now would be the time to do it. But I'm unable to do so. So I won't. And
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
I'm sure that doesn't surprise him. He was on your crew during that Vikinging,
Hmm.
and he knows how poorly it went for the rest of you. He seemed to have somehow found and stumbled into a bit of money during the thing, however.
Hmm. Not suspicious at all of that, I'm sure.
Weird how that worked out. So, the crone,
Yes.
Gurney is leading you to her mother's house.
Okay.
And she's completely silent. Do you say anything on the trip there?
And why have you taken me from the path? Where are you leading me, girl?
She says, You have been down this path before, the crone. I am taking you to my mother, Thora Aelsdottir. Has your memory already fled you?
Silence. I remember many things. Where are we again? No. Let's see. Of course, I know exactly where we are. We're going down there to the left, aren't we? Yes,
She
to the
turns
left.
right.
You're taking the long way, I see, but we'll go. You know this place from your childhood. I shall follow you.
Yeah, she like pats you on your arm and like pulls you like side by side embrace and just like leading you around like and she's like, "Oh, grandmother, don't worry. You may not remember the past, but you can still see the future,
Quite right.
I hope." And you arrive at the door of Thora Aelsdottir. which is marked with many depictions of the hidden folk. The house is small, but somewhat comfortably cozy, and to our eyes of modern viewers, it